Alright, everybody, what's up? It's Big Hot Rod and L Train coming at y'all. Man, it's the T Train show. Y'all know what time it is.
Here we go. Welcome to another edition of Three the Hard Way. And of course, I gotta introduce my gentleman that is on the show, Mr. Influencer, Hot Rod, Mr. Rodney Young. What's going on, Hot Rod?
What is going on, fellas? What is going Three the Hard Way Nation on the YouTube? What's going on, Three the Hard Way Nation on the TikTok corridors? Listen, this is your friendly neighborhood coach, and y'all know what I say. You may not like what I say, but you will.
And as always, the captain of our ship, Three the Hard Way, Mr. Terrence Austin T. What's going on, man?
What's happening, everybody? Three the Hard Way Nation out there, TikTok land. What's going on? Let's go. Let's get this thing going. Can't wait.
Do it, man.
Can't wait.
Hey, I couldn't wait to get with this when I was telling the fellas in the pre-show prep that I almost donned the Cleveland Browns jersey and the Cleveland Browns hat. I put those things away for a little bit. T's got his on. You see
Always.
the smile on Hot Rod's face right now.
Yes, sir.
You know, so I couldn't wait to listen, man. I couldn't wait to talk about it. Let's just dive into it. Cleveland Browns, first preseason game, and we don't have to even speculate where we need to start, fellas. We need to start at my guy, Shedeur Sanders. When I found out he was starting, I said, Shedeur, you got to ball out, because there's a lot of people out there, and I believe there are some people in the Cleveland Browns organization that, number one, wanted him to fail, that, number two, probably thought he was going to fail, and I thought it was best case scenario what he did. So let's dissect it a little bit, fellas. Give me your thoughts about what you saw from Shedeur Sanders on Friday night.
All right, let me start, Rod. Let me start. First of all, I got in front of the TV expecting to watch, and what? There goes the Atlanta Falcons and whoever else they were playing. Man, I hit the roof. But I had my little handy transistor radio ready, so I had to listen. Okay? Because believe it or not, sports is made to be listened to. Going back to the days of boxing and baseball on the old transistor radio, okay? So I listened to the game and I taped it, and I got up at 4 o'clock Saturday morning to watch it. So I listened and I watched, okay? Now, here's my take. How would I put it? For someone who was getting minimal reps with the starters in practice, someone who was at the bottom of the total poll, to get the
Fourth
word...
string, T.
Yeah, fourth string. To get the word 4 days prior that he's going to be starting, the young man seized the opportunity. 14 for 23, 138 yards, 2 touchdown passes. Hey, he was spot on, okay? After the game, they asked him, hey, man, how'd you do? He said, I'll give myself a grade of C+, which means that even he knows that there's room for growth, okay?
Yep.
Room for growth. Now, again, I just wanted him to be able to manage the offense, hand the ball off effectively, not make any mistakes, just show command of the offense, in which he did. My only concerns were him, under center, okay? When he, starts to play off under center, he needs a little bit of work there, but he'll get it, because guess what? After that performance, he's going to move up. So tomorrow and the rest of the week, I'm sure he'll be getting a lot of run with the, with the starters and the second string players. So I'm looking forward to that. But again, to answer your question, and I know Rod's got a lot, hey, I like what I saw. I really did. I like what I saw. And I pray that he continues to improve, because, hey, we may have our quarterback. Now, of course, Joe Flacco's going to start. He's going to start. But Joe is not going to play 17 games. He's not going to play 17 games. And if something happens, we got our guy. We got our man. That way next year, with these 2 picks like Rod says, we won't have to use them. Okay? But, again, just starting off talking about Shedeur, and hopefully later on I'll get to talk about some other parts of what I saw with the team, because I did my homework. But to answer your question, L Train, I love what I saw out of Shedeur, and let's keep it going. Go ahead, Rod.
What do you got, Rod?
So I want to talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about, before we get to Shedeur, let's talk about Mason Graham first. How did Mason Graham do that? No, we ain't talking about Mason Graham. We talking about Shedeur Sanders. That's what we talking about. Y'all thought I was going to talk about the 5th overall pick. Nah, I'm talking about the one who was picked in the 5th round, all right? Who y'all sat up and y'all talked about, oh, he couldn't get out of the huddle on time. He can't read defenses. He holds the ball too long. He looked like an NFL quarterback Friday night. Okay? Did he make mistakes? Sure did. Did he do some things that he needs correction on? He sure did. But let me tell you something. He had command of the offense. He knew exactly where he was going. And listen, them 2 touchdowns that he threw were dimes. He threw dimes. They were lasers. Okay? And then it was one pass that he threw to Floria that was a touch pass out of the pocket. Listen, I said this in the pre-show, and I mean this. Shedeur Sanders has now put pressure on not only the organization, he has put pressure on Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett. He has put pressure on them. He's put pressure on Kevin Stefanski. He's put pressure on Andrew Berry. I don't want to hear, and Garrett Bush said this, and I agree with him. I don't want to hear, oh, well, they're treating him like a 5th round, draft pick. He's a 5th round pick with 1st round talent. He should have been the 2nd quarterback taken off the board. After Cam Ward. And there's some that said he should have been taken before Cam Ward. So what is he doing? Yes, this young man has put his head down and he's working. And that's all he's doing. He seized the opportunity. He's a Sanders. He seized the opportunity. Now, what do the Browns have to do right now? They've got to give him more reps and not throwing the ball to managers and towel boys. He needs to move up. And Dylan Gabriel and Kenny Pickett, you can tell they getting healthy real fast now because they know. Now the clock is on. Not only does Shedeur have the heart of Cleveland, he's got the heart of this team right now. Myles Garrett loves him. David Njoku loves him. He's got these guys, and they're on his team right now. So now, but we must understand, with this organization, we want to make sure that they don't act like the same old Browns, because they will find new and creative ways to mess things up. Okay? I'm talking AI type of new wave. Yeah. All right? But in terms of his play, Shedeur did exactly what he needed to do. Now, it was one play I think he was sacked twice. One play he scrambled backwards. That's a no-no. You never do that in the NFL. He's got to throw that ball away, okay? And then the one sack, okay, he was trying to roll out of the pocket. He got caught. No big deal. But he showed athleticism. He showed pinpoint accuracy. He showed command, and everything that they talked about that he was lacking, he showed it.
And with that play, Rod, sometimes defenders just make good plays. Sometimes the defense just makes good plays. Yeah,
they do. Absolutely, they do. And I mean, I'm like you guys. I was getting ready for another event, and I was trying to watch the game, and my cable messed up, and I was like, and I saw y'all messages come across. I'm like, all right, what's going on here? But that's why we have the luxury of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube. Yeah. And so, went there. But no, they're talking about him now. And they're talking about him. Listen, I even saw the text that you sent me, L Train, about Tony Grossi, which I still think is fake news. But, okay, fine.
I sent you that.
You sent me that T? Okay, my bad. Yeah. Okay, so, yeah. And so, if Tony Grossi has changed his stripes, okay, he had no choice. He didn't have no choice, T. He saw the same thing that we saw. He saw an NFL quarterback being made right now. So I'm very happy for Shedeur Sanders. I'm rooting for him. I'm cheering for him, hoping that he gets some more reps in this next game. Listen, he's gonna have growing pains, y'all. I'm not getting, and I'll end with this. I'm not getting overly excited because at the end of the day, it was a preseason game. Right. I'm really not. I know I am excited for the young man because he finally got his opportunity, but I'm not. It's preseason, okay? As he begins to progress, then I like to see I would like to see more from him. But he didn't throw any interceptions.
Right.
He didn't fumble the ball. He moved the ball down the field. He controlled the offense. Great job by Shedeur Sanders.
And to add to it too, Rod. Real quick, L Train. I also like what Tyler Huntley did when he came in, which does not surprise me. I've always liked that kid. You know, I watched him closely when he was right up the road here in Baltimore. He went 6 for 8, threw a touchdown, and he's got speed. Okay, so I hope that the organization keeps him. And one other thing, yesterday on national radio, I was outside in my yard working all day yesterday on all the national channels, Fox, CBS, ESPN, everything was Shedeur. Everything. That they didn't talk no WNBA, they didn't talk any baseball, they didn't talk alternative sports, nothing. It was all Shedeur yesterday on all the national airwaves yesterday.
Right.
Okay, L Train. I just wanted to slip that in.
No, that's good. The one thing that has always aggravated me about Shedeur and the whole narrative surrounding him is there have just been bold-faced lies out there about Shedeur. I watched Colorado. So all of these so-called sport analysts talking about how he's not accurate, like he doesn't have an arm. He came from a system that had a lot of tricked up plays, so he never played in a pro-style offense. And so when he makes that transition, he's going to struggle with that in the NFL. There is no more of a tricked up offense than Oregon is, where Dylan Gabriel came from. But you never hear that narrative about Dylan Gabriel. You know, if you look in Webster's dictionary of a tricked up offense, it's always Oregon. They're always bubble screening. Right. They're always RPOing and stuff like that. But back to Shedeur, I'm not surprised. And again, it's because I watch him. And he comes from, number one, he comes from good stock, and he comes from good coaching. The one thing that Coach Sanders has done in Colorado is he has surrounded his players and kids with professional NFL coaches that have spent time in the NFL, or they are former NFL players. So what better environment could he have come up under the last 2 years of his college career in terms of being taught, in terms of being mentored, working on his fundamentals? The one thing, fellas, that jumped off the page at me wasn't his stats, and his stats were good. And a lot of people spend a lot of time on that. But, fellas, did you see the poise of Shedeur Sanders? See, when I go out and recruit, I always look for people that have poise under stress. I want to look for athletes that when they fail on a play, like Shedeur got sacked a couple times, didn't have the best throws at times, what do you do the next play? Every time Shedeur answered the call, he answered the bell. And then, I don't know if you guys saw this, but there was a little bit of leadership there as well. There was time where he rolled out and he couldn't get rid of the ball and he got sacked. And the first thing he did was what? He went up to the wide receiver, and I don't know what he said. I don't know what he said to the wide receiver, but he was instructing him, hey, man, you got to do this, you got to do that on the next time we get into this situation. So that shows the leadership as well. He was accurate. He was confident. He was poised. Hot Rod, I think you said he had command of the playbook. He had command of the huddle. These are the attributes that you should look for in your franchise quarterback. And I'm telling you, man, I believe that everything happens for a reason. And I believe that if the Browns had a healthier quarterback room, here's the injustice in this. If the Browns had a healthier quarterback room, I don't think he gets that opportunity on Friday night like that. I don't think he starts. I don't think he plays 3 quarters. I don't think he gets the opportunity to show what he can do. But hey, man, there are divine fingerprints all over this stuff right now. He is getting great opportunity to showcase what he can do. And I said this in the beginning. Wouldn't it be something, a guy that nobody wanted, a guy that dropped to the 5th round, to a franchise that have had multiple opportunity to draft high-level quarterbacks in the 1st round, and now you got this 5th rounder coming in here that has the ability to change your franchise? That is the importance of the start of Shedeur Sanders. And Hot Rod, I agree with you. I'm not going to get too over the moon about it because it's one preseason game. But within that preseason game, man, he passed every single
test.
test.
And
Yeah.
L Train, I
Sure.
want to back up to something that you said when you talk about leadership and the people that Deion had around him. You know, I heard somebody yesterday trying to beat up Pat Shurmur, his old offensive coordinator.
Right.
Pat Shurmur knows football.
Yes, he
knows
does.
football.
Yeah, he
he
does.
knows football, and I think that was the perfect fit for him at Colorado, having Pat Shurmur. So that came to mind when you were talking about, again, how this thing has been put together. And you got to give Pat Shurmur a lot of credit there, too. Hell of a coordinator.
And let me throw this in here. You know, like I said, I'm tired of folks talking this fifth round stuff. Okay. Oh, he was picked in the fifth round. He was picked in the fifth round. You know, a man by the name of Tom Brady was picked in the seventh.
There you go.
Okay.
That's
he
all
was
you need to
picked in the
say.
seventh round. All
all you
right.
need
So
to say.
let's leave it at that. And
Right.
by the way, who is one of Shedeur's mentors? That said
guy.
Tom Brady.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
Okay. So there, you know, I'm not saying he's gonna be Tom Brady. I'm not saying that. But the people, the kid wins. The kid knows how to win.
Yeah.
Okay. He is from a stock of winners. We're talking about his father, who is arguably the greatest football player on the planet.
That's what Bobby
And
Bowden said.
in terms of corners, the greatest cornerback ever.
Not even
Okay?
close.
There's not even a discussion. Okay, you can talk about it, but I'm not listening to you because I'm too busy watching Coach Prime. Okay, and so the kid knows how to win. And here's the thing: once again, he is galvanizing this organization from within. He's putting his head down. He is working hard, and he's trying to earn it. And I believe that eventually Shedeur Sanders will be QB1. It won't be this year, but he will be QB1. I think him being behind Flacco will be a great learning tool for him. And if the Browns play this correctly, which once again we have to say it's the Browns.
It's the Browns.
As much
It's
as
our
I love
Browns.
them, it's our Browns. If they play this right, Shedeur Sanders could be QB1 as early as next year. And then you got 2 number 1 picks where now you can go ahead and finally find you a wide receiver that can complement Jerry Jeudy. I think, honestly, that this might be the end for David Njoku if the young rookie comes up like he should. You know, I'm hoping Njoku, because Njoku's a Cleveland guy. He loves Cleveland. He wants to be there. He wants to play there. And to be perfectly honest, how many guys on that team want to be in Cleveland? How many people?
That's a great
You
question.
don't see a whole lot of free agents saying, "Hey, I want to go to Cleveland." So you got a guy. You let a guy go who said he wanted to finish his career in Cleveland, and you got a guy on the team right now that says he don't want to go anywhere else but Cleveland because he feels like he can win there. Okay, but Shedeur Sanders, I believe, is the missing piece to the puzzle. The quarterback that can finally close the coffin on trying to find someone to lead this team. He's a leader. He's a winner. Ride him until the brakes fall off. And I believe he has the DNA to take us a long way. He just does.
Yeah, oh, go ahead, T.
Rod, I just want to quickly say Deontay Johnson. Now, again, it was just the first game because he's a guy that's been showing off in camp, you know, so far, you know, this season. He didn't really do much the other night, but he'll have a chance to redeem himself next week against the world champion Philadelphia Eagles when they, you know, scrimmage against them and then play them. But Deontay Johnson is a wide receiver I love, man. I love that kid.
Yeah,
Love
I think with Deontay Johnson, I think with him it's more off the field stuff because he has great talent.
Yes, he does.
You know, but I mean, he's been in Baltimore, he's been in Pittsburgh, he's been in 2 class organizations and he didn't make it.
Right.
So to me, this is his last shot.
It is,
If he doesn't get
And he
this
knows
right
that.
with
He
the
knows that.
Browns, if he doesn't get this right with the Browns, his career could be done. Now, he's a high risk, low risk, high reward kind of guy. because they don't have a lot of money invested in him. Okay, Cedric Tillman needs to step up this year. He had a concussion last year, which sat him out the entire season, which must have been bad. But he's got to step up this year. There's a couple other guys that I think will make the team. Okay, so I mean, you got an opportunity, but they gotta do this right. They gotta do this right.
Yeah, I think, man, when it comes to Shedeur Sanders, I think this is going to create a domino effect in the league. What this is going to do, in my opinion, is it's going to spotlight all the wrongdoings of the NFL. Remember how passionate Mel Kiper was as Shedeur started to fall down in the rounds in the draft. Like, he just thought it was blasphemous that this was happening. There was some sort of, conspiracy going on behind the scenes, which I speculate really did happen with Shedeur. But, I agree with you, Rod. This is going to put a lot of pressure on the Cleveland Browns organization. It's going to put a lot of pressure on the NFL as well in terms of things that goes on in the draft. It's also going to put a lot of pressure on every quarterback that was drafted ahead of Shedeur Sanders. And more importantly, I think within the Browns organization, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Dillon Gabriel. Like, I agree with you. I don't think Joe Flacco feels any pressure because he is supposed to be the number one guy. Like, he has proven himself. He's a former Super Bowl MVP, former Super Bowl champion.
He's a made man.
He's a made man, so right now he is untouchable. And I even look at Kenny Pickett. I don't think anybody would argue when Shedeur came in that Kenny Pickett should be quarterback 2. He's got a little bit of a resume, right? I didn't think that it was insurmountable that Shedeur couldn't pass him, but at the start it should have been Kenny Pickett. The problem is the Cleveland Browns organization chose to draft Dillon Gabriel from Oregon ahead of Deion Sanders. So now they are going to have to take accountability for that pick. And right now the best ability is availability, and Dillon Gabriel's not available. He didn't play in the first preseason game, and now when he does hit the field, guess what? He is going to have to show that he is worthy now of that pick, or it becomes
on him.
It's on him. It becomes an embarrassment for the Cleveland Browns. It becomes an embarrassment for the NFL. It validates that Shedeur should not have fallen. Now, now a couple things. If I'm Shedeur, T, you mentioned it. I love his take because I think the reporter on the sideline was like, "Oh, Shedeur, you were out there. You looked really sharp." He said, first thing he said was, "I don't think I was sharp. Like, I got another level in me." That's a scary thought because he knows his game. He knows his game. And if I'm Deion, listen, I get it. I would be a proud father too. But here's what I'm doing if I'm Deion Sanders. I'm not tweeting a thing. I'm just going to sit back and I am going to let this ride out, man, because this is what I said before. In the preseason, you can talk, you can analyze all you want, you can say whatever you want about Shedeur Sanders, but everything is going to play out because this is the time that Shedeur is going to play. He may not play during the regular season, but this is a time that he's going to be able to show what he can do against Dillon Gabriel and against Kenny Pickett. And if he is legitimately a 4th-string quarterback, it's going to show. But it didn't show Friday night, fellas.
Sure didn't.
It did not show Friday night.
And let me do this. I'm gonna, because I know there are people that are thinking this, so I'm gonna say what I think people are thinking. Number one, and let me do this by asking a question to you guys. Do you believe Jimmy Haslam when he said Andrew Berry made the Shedeur Sanders pick? Do you believe that?
No.
No, I don't believe
Okay.
that.
T, you don't believe that?
No, I don't believe
Okay.
that.
Okay, and I'm sure the TikTok nation and the YouTube nation don't believe that either. But let Coach Young go further. First of all, when Jimmy Haslam made that statement, he doesn't realize that he made Andrew Berry look like an idiot. Here's why. Because I have never known of an organization, and somebody out here in these streets will correct me if I'm wrong, draft 2 quarterbacks in the same draft. I've never seen that, okay? And so, and I'm not saying it hasn't happened, but I've never seen it. So if Andrew Berry made the Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders pick, then he's an idiot. Because you're saying that Dylan Gabriel, number one, is better than Shedeur Sanders. Well, we already seen that that's not true. Okay? We've already seen that. We've seen that that's not true. So I believe, here's my theory, that Kevin Stefanski wanted Dylan Gabriel for whatever reason. I have and this is supposed to be an offensive guru, and he picked Dylan Gabriel third. I still believe that Jimmy Haslam told Andrew Berry, Shedeur is there. If Shedeur is there in the 5th round, then go get him. And that's what they did. Now, how will this backfire? It will backfire because Shedeur Sanders is going to have to make a decision on that 3rd round pick and Kenny Pickett. As I said before in the pre-show, what I think is going to happen, Kenny Pickett will be traded or released. Shedeur Sanders will be QB2 because Joe Flacco will be QB1. And Dylan Gabriel will be QB3. He'll be the clipboard holder. Okay? Because Joe Flacco is 40 years old. He is one hit away from being out of the league.
Yeah.
Okay? And so they have to, and so you're going to have to put these young lions into the fire. And I think Kenny Pickett, because Kenny Pickett's proven nothing. Every person that has been to Browns training camp has said Kenny Pickett has looked average at best. Average. Okay? And so right now, the problem with Dylan Gabriel is he's 5'0", 100 and nothing. He had a bad week last week from all reports that we got. He had a real bad week, which you're gonna have. But the problem is he's not tall enough. So now they have to move the pocket. That's not Kevin Stefanski's offense. Kevin Stefanski's offense is 11 personnel, 2 tight ends, play action under the center. That's not Dylan Gabriel's game. Even when he was at Oregon, he was in the shotgun. Okay? They've already done that shotgun stuff. Kevin Stefanski is not trying to be primarily a shotgun type of offense. So you already have someone who can't fit. And now you have Shedeur, who is a supreme athlete and quarterback, throwing the football. If the more that Shedeur does, the better that he becomes, the more that 3rd round pick looks like a waste. Well, let me ask you this, Rod. Let me ask you this, and just to clarify. So you're saying no matter what Kenny Pickett does, let's say hypothetically, and I love playing the devil's advocate stuff because it happened Saturday afternoon with my Minnesota Vikings. Sam Howell had been stinking it up in training camp. He comes out that first preseason game and lights it up. I think he went like 11 for 13, 100-plus yards, touchdown.
Yeah.
What if Kenny Pickett puts together 2 really good games with the Cleveland Browns and really puts them in a pickle? Like, do you think he's still going to be shipped out? Because I think he's shipped out. If Shedeur plays like he plays the next 2 preseason games, I think no matter what Kenny Pickett does, he's shipped out. That's my opinion.
And I tend to agree with you. I think for Kenny Pickett to be the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, number one, Joe Flacco has to get hurt in training camp.
Yep.
Okay. Or 2, Kenny Pickett has to do something superhuman. He's not capable of doing that. Remember, like I said, this guy was released. He was let go by Mike Tomlin, who's a pretty darn good coach. I think he's a surefire Hall of Famer. Okay? They let him go. Now they trying to blame the offensive coordinator. No. Kenny Pickett is the one that had to make the decisions and throw the football. Okay? Now, I think people are giving him a pass because of that and because he went to Philadelphia and he was behind Jalen Hurts.
Right.
That's fine. Okay? I get that. But I don't see – the only scenario I see Kenny Pickett, like I said, if Joe Flacco gets hurt or Kevin Stefanski just wants to shove him down our throats. I'm not a fan of Kenny Pickett. Haven't been a fan of Kenny Pickett. Won't be a fan of Kenny Pickett. You know, and I really – I mean, every time I see him come out with them gloves on, guys, I'm just like, come on, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, but yes, am I on the Shedeur bandwagon? Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Don't give that kid anything. He needs to earn it. But once he earns it, go ahead, T. I know where you're going. Go, T.
Just to add to it, Shedeur did his part by doing what he did Friday night. Now he just needs to, clean up the little things that he needs to work on and go forward because he already did his part, and let Andrew Berry and Stefanski and the owner and all of them deal with all that other stuff. Lionel, that was a great point that you brought up, playing devil's advocate. But guess what? Shedeur ain't got to worry about that. All Shedeur's got to do is just grind and keep playing.
Yeah.
That's not that's for them to figure it out.
That's it.
But it's concerning for us as Browns fans because we know what the Browns can do. We've seen them in action. We've seen them in the past. So it is concerning, but that ain't something Shedeur ain't got to worry about that. He ain't have to worry about that.
No. I just think it's going to be hard to.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I was just about to say. I just think it's going to be hard to keep Kenny Pickett on this roster as a backup if Shedeur is playing well. I think he's too attractive of an asset for other teams in terms of being a backup somewhere else or possibly get into a starting role somewhere else. I just don't see Kenny Pickett being a third-string quarterback. So the chances of him continuing to stay on this team if Shedeur plays well, I just think it's slim, man. It's slim.
I'm still, the real quick segue, T, I'm still hearing rumblings that the Browns are talking to the Commanders, that they having conversations when it's coming to Terry McLaurin, that they're really, that it's kind of intensifying. That they're having conversations,
and I don't know where that came from, but he wants out of there. He wants out of DC.
He wants out, and the Browns have the draft capital to and they do have I don't know where this money came from because I know he's looking for an extension. He's looking for a new contract, and for some reason I've been hearing rumblings that the Browns can afford him. How I don't know, because they still paying. They still paying all that money to Deshaun Watson, who, by the way, is still in the quarterback room. Yeah.
Was on the bench.
So that there. Okay, we move on. Let's move on, as the late Bernie Mac would say. No, Kenny Pickett being on the, I don't see it. L Train, I agree. I don't see it. I think if Joe Flacco stays cool in the pocket, stays steady. I think if Shedeur keeps improving. I think,
which he will.
Dylan Gabriel is going to be here because he's a third-round pick. I just think Kenny Pickett is the odd man out, period.
Yep, I agree. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised to see the purple contact the Cleveland Browns and at least have some conversations about that before week 1 in the NFL. But, again, Sam Howell with the Minnesota Vikings put on the show. And he had looked like trash for all of training camp. So I don't know where that came from, but I know the Vikings are in they'll never admit it, but they're in conversations right now of looking for.
Do you want him up there with you, L Train? You want him
What's
up
that?
there? Do you want Pickett? Do you want Kenny Pickett? Would you take him?
I wouldn't mind him depending on what is the pool of availability out there for QB2s. I just don't know if I'm satisfied with our backup quarterbacks right now in Minnesota. So it really depends on who's available. Right now, the pool is really slim.
And it's too early to tell, too.
Absolutely. There's a lot of other storylines with the Cleveland Browns. T, I know you've got some notes, man, on some of the things that you saw with our Browns. Give me some of your inside thoughts. We'll jump to Hot Rod on some of the things other than Shedeur Sanders that really impressed you.
I like what I saw of Carson Schwesslinger, how you pronounce his name. Yeah, he had 6 tackles in the first half. He was lighting it up. Yeah, he was on fire. I also like, Mason Graham putting pressure on the quarterback, okay? I like that. I like Mason Graham putting on the quarterback. I may sound a little petty here, okay? But I hate that we mixed an extra point. You're not supposed to miss extra points, okay?
No. Right.
And again, like I say, I may be sounding a little petty, but I don't like that. Just like free throws aren't supposed to be missed. That's why they're called free throws, okay? But, and then out of the wide receivers, a couple of those other guys I liked, Canella, I liked him, Davis, Bates, and then the kid, Floria, from Cleveland who made that
Florida.
one-hand catch. And I heard he kind of nicked up his hamstring in doing
Yeah,
so.
he tweaked it.
Doing so, I hope he's okay. But I just like what I saw all around. I really did. And then the fact, didn't we have 2 takeaways too? Something that we struggled with last year. So I think we had a couple of takeaways. But for game 1, I tell you, the last time I was hyped for a Browns preseason game, and I'm going to date myself, fellas, was back when we got Courtney Brown. Remember him, the quiet?
I remember that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh,
That was the last time I was
Downtown
hyped.
Courtney Brown.
Yeah, that was the last time I was hyped for a Browns preseason game, and I was living in Maryland at the time, and I went to Cleveland Browns Stadium to see him play against the then Washington Redskins, okay? And he showed out, but then when the season came, he fizzled out, you know? So, again, like I say, that was the last time I was hyped for a preseason game with our Brownies. But, again, I just like what I saw all the way around, but, you know, missing extra points right out the gate, we got to clean that up.
Yeah.
But it's early.
That man, we got a downtown Courtney Brown reference.
I know, that's
My
way back in the
goodness,
day.
man.
Woo!
Ooh, gee whiz. So my take is this. Mason Graham did a really good job. I mean, he's in a 4-3 scheme, and so he's that like 0-1 technique. So he's gonna be double teamed a lot, but he still was getting pressure on the football. Did a pretty good job. Got decent speed for a guy his size, getting off the football. Nice explosion. You know, being a former defensive line coach, that's the one thing I look for. I look for explosion off the football. I look for how you use your hands, and I have to remember he's a former wrestler. So some of my best defensive linemen were wrestlers because they knew how to fight in a phone booth. They knew about that box combat. So Schlesinger, I think, is going to be a problem. That kid is a tackling machine. Now, my thing is when them big 300-pound linemen come at him, can he handle them? We'll see how he does with that. He's got really good speed, really good size. I told you guys he reminds me of Clay Matthews Sr.
Matthews, wow.
He's got a Clay Matthews feel about him, and Clay Matthews was a tackling machine. He was everywhere, and so I see that in him. There's also a couple guys that stepped up in the linebacker position. I'm really looking because that's where right now the Browns have their weakness on defense. Is a linebacker position. I did the Floria kid. Yes, he's a Cleveland kid. I'm rooting for him. He's got good speed. That one-handed catch on that ball that Shedeur threw him. He's been killing it at camp. I'm hoping that he makes it because he's working hard. And so I was actually watching the running back position, and not really impressed with it. You know me.
But you knew that going in, though.
Yeah, I'm pro Nick Chubb. Okay, y'all know, and so, it's a work in progress. We'll see how that goes. I did hear Quinshawn Junkins pushed his court date to 2026. So there is a possibility that he will be back, but he's got to sign that contract. He's got to sign it, and now the Browns have leverage. They've got leverage.
Much
now
leverage.
With all this legal trouble that he has, he just needs to come in, keep his mouth shut, sign what they give him, and go ahead about his business.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's what I think he's gonna do. But those are the two that I pulled. The Schlesinger, Floria, and Mason Graham did a really good job. Really good.
Yeah, I'm going to piggyback on the running game. Like, it was really the only area of, I don't want to say concern, because I know we've got the Quinshawn Junkins thing out there, and when he gets back into camp, which I think that's going to happen eventually, where he's going to sign his contract, he's going to get back with the team. That's going to improve that running game. But it's a big reason why I really don't want to put Shedeur back there yet, because I think you're going to need that run-pass balance, and I think Joe Flacco is probably a little bit more equipped to deal with that, even though he's not the athlete that Shedeur is. He's slower than Shedeur, but he's just kind of seen everything, and I think he just reads defenses better.
Right.
But did you see? And here's the deal, because I talked to a lot of Cleveland people, and they would have rathered the Cleveland Browns draft Travion Henderson. And if you look at what Travion's doing, Travion returned a 100-yard kick. Did you guys see that?
Heard about it. I heard
Oh,
about
man.
it.
Oh, man. I mean, he got out there and left people. So I do think Quinshon Judkins, when he comes back in, I think he's going to improve that running game, but he's got to sign that contract, and he's got to get in. Another thing that jumped off the page at me when I just watched the Cleveland Browns play on both sides of the ball is the physicalness of the Cleveland Browns. Like, I think Jim Schwartz has always been a physical defensive coordinator, but I saw it on the offensive side of the ball as well, fellas. Like, that is a mindset, and it was really refreshing to see the Cleveland Browns play that way. So I think this is something that translates to the regular season. I don't know if it translates in wins or losses, but our Cleveland Browns, 2025 Cleveland Browns, they're going to be a more physical football team. Like, you can see that. And then the one thing I wanted to bring up, and we kind of touched on it briefly a few minutes ago, Deshaun Watson. There was a Deshaun Watson sighting on the bench. He was sitting next to a trainer or something like that. It was great, because I know we had talked about where's Deshaun. He's not talking. We haven't seen him.
See,
it was really the first. Yeah, it was really the first time I had seen Deshaun Watson in a long time. He was on the bench, on the Cleveland Browns bench. So those were the three glaring things that just jumped out to me during that preseason game.
So, with the physicalness of the Browns, that's because they're actually in a NFL training camp now. Other than when they were at the Greenbrier last year, which was called Camp Cupcake. Okay? Camp Cupcake. And then they came out and went 3-14. So something had to change. So now they're having where they padded up, they hitting, okay? They sticking, they're playing football. So now you see now like you said, Jim Schwartz has always had a fit. Listen, the Browns are going to be a top 10 defense, if not a top 5. And the only reason I didn't say I haven't jumped out at top 5 is because of the Martin Emerson injury.
Yeah.
Because they got to figure out, how the DBs are going to go. Okay.
Which concerns me a little bit, because I didn't see much that I liked from our secondary in this past game. So I'm glad you touched on that. I'm a little concerned about our secondary.
Yeah, because we got, of course, Denzel. As long as Denzel Ward stays healthy on the one side, then we got our Northwestern connection. I'm not giving that Newsome. I'm not giving him his name yet, because to me, You're not gonna give him his name. No, I ain't giving him his name yet, because he ain't proved nothing. He can dance well. He danced really well. You know what I'm saying? He do his little handshakes pretty well. Yeah. But to me, my moniker for him is BBCT. And that's burnt bacon crispy toast. Every time I see him covering he can't cover the slot. Right. And now they got to put him outside. Okay? He better make his money now. Make his money now. Okay? Because if he doesn't show improve at the corner position this year, then Greg Newsome won't be here. He won't be with the Browns. He'll be gone. Okay? But we'll see, because now offenses are going to come in. They're going to go after him. They're not going to go to Denzel Ward's side. Denzel Ward's a Pro Bowler, perennial Pro Bowler. They're not going to, when Jamar Chase came out and said, that's the best DB that I've played against.
That says a lot.
Yeah, that says a lot.
Because he's a beast. Chase is a beast.
Yeah, so Denzel going to have that one side locked down. It's going to be up to BBCT on the other side to go ahead and lock his side down. And then they got a problem, and that's what T was talking about. They got a problem at slot corner now, because you had to move Newsome outside. So now who is your slot corner? Okay, right. So now that's the battle right now. It's who's going to play slot.
Right. Let's look around the league, fellas, at other preseason games. Anybody standing out to you, any organization standing out to you in terms of preseason, some things that you saw over the weekend?
I was surprised how Washington got drilled, okay?
Yeah.
But they didn't play hardly any of their starters, so that's to be expected. I also wanted to see what, the kid in Jacksonville was going to do playing both sides of the ball, but again, it was only the first game, and he was a little underwhelming, okay?
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
like I say, it's just the first game. All my mind was on, our boys.
That's right.
But then again, nothing else really stuck out. Well, who's the guy that kicked the 70-yarder? I think that was in that Jacksonville game.
That's
right?
what I'm talking
Jacksonville,
about.
yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought about him when we missing extra points. We need to get him, man. That guy won't miss no extra points. Kicking 70-yard field goals.
It went 74 yards, T.
Yeah.
it
He's got
did.
a man. He's
74.
exactly.
That,
he's got a leg on him, man. Get that kid in camp.
They
Find
might
that
have
kid,
to test
man.
him. I'm guaranteeing you the NFL tested him after that one. He had to get tested. He kicked a 70-yard field
70
goal
yards,
with some room to go.
Now,
That
wait a
was-
minute.
that-
Now, have you guys heard about the K-balls?
No.
Okay, so now I researched this. Now, kickers, for the first time in the NFL, they can precondition their balls, like I believe it's 7 days before their games. So they can break in. Before they were not allowed to do that. They had 3 hours before game time to break in their footballs. Now they're getting about 7 days. So people are speculating that this is the cause of this young man hitting a 70-yarder. Now, I'm going to have to see more evidence of that. Like
that torpedo bat in baseball, huh?
Yeah.
NFL's version of the torpedo bat.
Yeah, but I heard about this a couple months ago that they were going to allow kickers to do this, and I thought to myself, well, is that going to make a difference? But if kickers want this amount of time, it's got to be beneficial in some way. I don't know if it's 70 yards beneficial, but it's got to be beneficial in some way. But that's what's going on with the new K-balls. So
I mean, imagine this, guys. Imagine this. He kicked a 70-yard field goal.
yeah,
So that means the team came out the end zone, got to the 30, stalled out,
yeah,
and called the kicker.
yeah,
How amazing is that?
yeah.
Okay.
They knew it could do it.
If that is a norm, can you imagine how football will change?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But no, the K-ball, no, I listen. Unless they injected some type of substance that causes it to stay in the air longer,
Got some helium
I
in
don't.
it.
I had something.
Yeah,
Okay, because that was I was amazed at watching that. But that just tells you the level of athleticism that even kickers have today, where they can kick like that. The only one I could remember who could kick that far was Sebastian Janikowski for the Raiders.
Yeah. Yes.
He did that. He was a lefty, and he could boom them. But that was the last one that I remember. But yeah, man. So what stood out to me preseason wise, I watched the beloved Pittsburgh Steelers.
Uh-oh.
I watched.
Hey, Rod, you can't say bad words on the show, man.
And I'm sorry. I watched the team that is sitting by the Allegheny River.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a damn good team too. It's a good team.
They're good.
It was a preseason game, and so Mason Rudolph was the quarterback, and I'm gonna be honest with you, Mason Rudolph did not look bad. He didn't look bad at all.
Yeah.
It was a couple shots he took, but no, the Steelers, as much as I troll them and as much as I talk about them, they're gonna be pretty good.
Oh yeah.
They're gonna be pretty good because this
They
was.
always
I'm
are.
looking
They
at their
always are.
second team offense, and they didn't look bad. Defensively, defensively Pittsburgh is always solid. They're gonna always be solid, and then they got Joey Porter Jr. back there now, I think he's third year. I mean, they're gonna have a defense. They're gonna have a defense. So as much as I'm trolling them, I'm not I'm not dismissing them. Okay, I'm just not an Aaron Rodgers guy. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, please hit that like and subscribe button. This is 3 the Hard Way. Before we get into T's boot camp, listen, man, I want to run something past you two guys, something that's just been bothering me. I got to get on my soapbox a little bit about this because I just wondered where this turned. And I'm just interested to get your thoughts, Rod. You're a football coach, and it's just bothering me. Like, the preseason, fellas, has changed so much. And I'm not talking about them playing 4 preseason games, now down to 3, but the way players are used in preseason. Like, I graduated from Carson School of Management at the University of Minnesota, one of the best business schools in the country. And the best class that I ever took was the psychology of sales. And there were so many intricate things where businesses and corporations can manipulate the human mind to create hunger, which in line creates more profit. And so when I look at the NFL, I think what they're doing is genius. Because here's what I believe is happening. Remember back in the day, fellas, when it was 4 preseason games and there was never really a concern about starters really getting hurt? Like, you would always have your starters not play much in the first quarter. Then they would play maybe a quarter or a half in the second game. And then they would play 3 quarters, in the third game. And then they wouldn't play at all in the fourth quarter. And I'm trying to remember when at the quarterback spot, when was there a rash of injuries in the preseason where the NFL and all these NFL coaches are protecting these guys and won't let them play? Now, I look at a guy like Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco doesn't need to play. Joe Flacco will be ready game 1. I look at a guy like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers don't need to play. But I'm looking at my Minnesota Vikings, and I'm looking at J.J. McCarthy. J.J. McCarthy will not play anymore in the preseason. It's been announced. You're talking about a kid that needs reps. You look at a guy like Michael Penix Jr. for the Atlanta Falcons. This is his first year starting, sat the bench the majority of last year. You think he don't need reps? Why is he not playing? Kirk Cousins is not playing. What the NFL is doing, in my opinion, and this is not a conspiracy, I just believe it is happening. The NFL understands the hunger of the fans to get the NFL season started. And so I don't know if these coaches have been directed not to play certain guys, but it's everybody that you want to see. It's everybody that you want to – new draft picks, doesn't matter whether they're new or not, a big-time free agent, starting quarterbacks. These guys are not hitting the field, fellas. And some of these guys need the reps. And I believe it creates a hunger from fans. They're selling out these preseason games. They're charging regular season prices for these preseason games. And when you become hungry to see a guy like Shedeur Sanders or J.J. McCarthy, you are going to pay top dollar once the regular season starts. Are you guys getting where I'm going with this? Like, do you think the NFL is playing games?
Let me, and it's crazy. Patrick Mahomes played the other night. Did you know that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he played. Now he only played a set of downs, or he was very minimal. Okay.
Yep.
But he was in the game and threw a touchdown pass, and that was it. But you know what, L Train? It reminds me of load management. In the NBA. Again, I've never seen LeBron play. Never seen LeBron play. The time that I was going to get to see him play on a Sunday up in Washington, D.C., that Friday night, they played an overtime game in Toronto. So that Sunday, I'm driving up. I said, man, he played, almost 45 minutes. I wonder will I get to see him play today in Washington. Get up to the game, no LeBron playing, but I got to lay eyes on him and only got to see him shoot, in between timeouts. But to get back to your point, last year, you look at our Cleveland Browns and, how they were just, just resting guys, sitting guys, this and that. Yeah. And, come season start, it's like, hey, man, did these guys have training camp? Did these guys really practice? Did they really, really play? So it shows up come the regular season. Patrick Mahomes played. He'll probably play each little preseason game to minimal, and then they'll come out and be 10-0. So the teams that don't play, that don't play the guys, don't play their starters, load management and this and that, it shows once the regular season, begins. And then those teams that did play, that tackle, that hit hard, this and that, it shows on the field because they're ready. So I really think it hurts players when they do sit out. And, again, I know they're trying to keep everybody healthy. I get it. I watch preseason usually out the corner of my eye because you don't want anybody to get hurt. But, again, it shows up on the field come season start if those guys really, really didn't get the reps like they should have,
But guys are getting hurt in practice. Guys are ending their seasons in practice. And, again, I don't mind them trying to protect players because some players have that value. But I just think when you have a player, and I'm using J.J. McCarthy, and I'm using a guy like Michael Penix Jr., I just feel like they need the reps. It's not it's not like you're going to play them 4 quarters.
Right.
You know, if you are afraid for those guys to get hurt, don't put them out there for a couple of series anyway. You know, I just think these guys need reps. I want to hear from Hot Rod. Rod, you know, you're a former football coach. Like, do you see value in that?
So I totally agree with you, but I'm gonna play the other side of the fence for this particular discussion. Name me now. I know you know J.J. McCarthy's backup.
Yeah.
But give me Trevor Lawrence's backup. Who is that?
I have no idea.
No clue.
Exactly.
No clue.
It's called the fear of the backup, gentlemen. The league does not want to see backup quarterbacks. Okay? The league is not going to make money off of backup quarterbacks. Okay? So, you know, we know Michael Penix, his backup is who?
Kirk
Cousins. Okay? Yeah. Kirk Cousins don't need the reps. But that's why I said, let's look at Trevor Lawrence, okay? Let's look at Patrick Mahomes, who his backup is. Okay? You don't know his. Who's Dak Prescott's backup?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So it's the fear of the backup, guys. Okay? Because I believe it was, I can't remember what year it was, but it was a year where quarterbacks were going down. I think it was the time Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. Okay. Quarterbacks were going down it was going down all over the league. Okay? And so that's why you got, you know, you're limiting reps. Now, I'm just playing the other side of the fence. I don't necessarily agree with that. I agree with your point, L Train, especially in J.J. McCarthy's instance. You got a kid who was injured, hadn't had the reps. He needs the reps. And you think that practice reps is going to get him ready for the regular season? I don't agree with that. Okay, I'm going to at least put him out and let him get his feet wet. Okay, I'm going to listen. If J.J. McCarthy's on the field, then the first team offensive line is on the field.
Right.
Then when it's time to get the first team offensive line off the field, then J.J. McCarthy leaves with them. He goes too. Because I'm not putting him behind, 5 guys who at the end of the day will be working at 5 guys. Okay.
Right.
So. Right. You know, I'm not doing that. So no, I don't agree with sitting guys. It did. You're right. You called it. It used to be play a couple snaps first game.
Yeah.
Second games they play more. Third game they play more. Then the fourth game they sit out, getting them ready for the regular season. Yeah, it's just flipped around now. Now you got guys coming in for a series and then getting out, and that's not getting them ready. That's not getting them ready. But I agree with you. But yes, I call it the fear of the backup.
Wow.
Yeah. Great phrase there. Great phrase there. It's just amazing how things have turned. So it's really weird that they're using these joint practices now as like a 4th preseason game and stuff like that. So it's just interesting to see it. Right now, hey, let's get in. We've got a boot camp coming up. Let's get into T's boot two who you putting in boot camp this week, man?
We're going to the world of baseball and to track and field, okay? 2 people from the same team are going, for on the field stuff, and then 1 person for track and field is going for off the field stuff.
All right.
Let's start with Jazz Chisholm of the New York Yankees, okay?
Ooh.
Last week, Jazz Chisholm, in a game against the Florida Marlins, the Miami Marlins, he got picked off on first base, okay? There was a pop-up in the infield. He was dancing off of first base. The infielder caught the ball and then threw him out at first base, tagged him out. Hey, the skipper was so hot, the skipper said, meet me down in here in the box. He called him down in the dugout and chewed his butt out. And then he chewed out Travis Chapman, the first base coach. He chewed both of them out. So both of them need to get in push-up position.
Drop and give me 20.
20. And Travis Chapman, the first base coach, for his guy getting picked, off at first. And last but not least, and I love this young lady, Sha'Carri Richardson. Okay, she's done climbed back and got back going well. And then here she is up at the Seattle Tacoma airport getting caught on video, pushing her boyfriend around, which led to a 4th-degree assault charge. So Sha'Carri, she needs to give us 20 push-ups as well too. So those 3. Track and field and baseball, my favorite. Yep, drop and give me 20.
Goodness.
Going back to boot camp.
Sha'Carri, drop and give us 20.
Give us 20. Yeah.
Wow.
You're in T's boot camp now.
There you go.
Go in there and rehab and come back out a better person.
There you go.
There you go.
All right, so listen, fellas. I got you guys last week with my mystery Cleveland Brown of the week. I got another one.
Wow.
Okay.
I got another.
And I beat you too, Rod. I beat you. You got to step up this week, Rod. I got you.
You had to put that out there, huh? you had to put that out there like that. Huh? Okay.
Listen, TikTok Nation, while we appreciate you out there, TikTok Nation, do not be looking up these clues.
Right.
We want to have this thing be as even Steven as we possibly can be.
What?
All right. We're going to start.
My supporters.
The first clue
Let's go.
of the mystery Cleveland Brown of the week, he was drafted in the 6th round of the NFL draft. 6th round. Now, these are going to get easier as we go. All right?
Yeah.
His first NFL team was not the one that fans will remember him most for. All right? His first pro touchdown came in 1991, 3 to Hardway Nation. 1991. He spent his rookie season behind a Pro Bowl wide receiver. His
Michael
NFL
Jackson?
Oh, good job, Hot Rod. Michael Jackson. Okay, Hot
Take
Rod.
that, T. Take that, T. Take that, T.
Yeah, you got me. And Andre Rison was on the other side of the ball with him too, right? With Andre
Yes,
Rison?
sir.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got me.
The late Michael Jackson. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Michael Jackson, man. The next clue you probably would have got, because I was going to say he wore the number 1 jersey.
Yeah.
He wore the number 1 jersey. So kudos. All right, T got it.
Where did he
Hot
play?
Rod.
Where did he play college ball, Michael Jackson? Where did he play college ball?
Southern Mississippi.
Great.
Southern Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Southern
yeah.
Mississippi.
Okay.
Yeah. I remember him. Yeah. He was nice.
All right.
He was nice.
I believe this week, Hot Rod, is your turn for start 1,
Yep.
bench 1,
Okay.
cut 1,
Okay.
erase 1. T called me out last week, said mine was easy, mine was
Easy.
weak, whatever
Easy.
adjective you want to use. So let me see what Hot Rod has today. Go ahead, Hot Rod. Who's your start 1, bench 1,
right.
cut 1, erase 1?
So, I'm actually going to come off the top of my head with this one. Okay,
All
here
right.
we go. Great golfers.
Ooh, let's go. Let's go.
All right, so let's go. Number 1, of course, Tiger Woods.
Yep.
Tiger Woods. Number 2, Jack Nicklaus.
Ooh, okay.
Number 3, let's go Ernie Els.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm trying to think of the 4th one here. Tom Watson.
That's not bad.
Wow.
Now that's off the top of my head, guys.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, okay,
So
L-Train.
start 1,
Yeah. I'm
Start
go first,
1.
L-Train.
bench 1,
Okay.
cut 1, erase 1.
Yep.
Great
Three of
golfers.
these guys, 3 of these guys I know. One of them I'm not too sure about. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with Jack Nicklaus. I'm gonna start with him. Okay, he's gonna
Okay.
start. I'm gonna bench Tiger.
Okay.
I'm going to cut Ernie Els, and I'm going to erase Watson. I'm going to erase Watson.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'm gonna
okay.
erase Watson.
Okay.
As if he never existed. Yep. Erase
Okay.
Watson.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
Tough one.
Okay. I can't argue with you on that, man, but I'm going to go a little bit different
All right.
than yours.
All right.
I'm going to start Tiger Woods.
Okay.
And I know Tiger Woods came a little bit short of the all-time major in terms of wins. I think he's 4 lower than Jack. So he didn't get that. But you're talking about a golfer that transcended the sport, that changed the sport. That adds value to my pick. I mean, he's got people involved. He got me involved in golf. You know, people that that wasn't ordinarily interested in golf. So that's why Tiger gets the nod for me. Jack, I will bench Jack. All-time great golfer. Again, arguably the GOAT in terms of golf. I will then go Tom Watson as a cut. Stellar career. Tom Watson is one of the greats, and then Ernie Els is great in his own right. But I could live without Ernie Els ever playing the game of golf, so I would erase Ernie Els.
Ernie Els. Wow. Okay.
Interesting, gentlemen. Interesting. Okay. Well,
This is a tough one.
I would. This now I'm gonna mess some people up here. I am going to start Jack Nicklaus.
Okay.
I look at Jack Nicklaus as the Michael Jordan of golf.
Okay. Can't
So
argue
if
that.
that be the case, then the Kobe Bryant is Tiger Woods. So Tiger
Okay.
Woods I would bench. I would cut Tom Watson because Tom Watson was a great golfer. He was I don't think he gets the props that he deserves. Tom
Yeah.
Watson.
Yeah.
And then I would erase Ernie Els. Even though Ernie Els is a great golfer and could have fell in any one of these. I
Yeah.
agree with L Train. I'm not going to miss Ernie Els more than I would Tiger and Jack and even Tom Watson.
Who was a close fifth that you'd have thrown in this, Rod?
Good question.
Yeah.
Would
Would it be B.J. Singh?
You could make a case for BJ Singh. Phil Mickelson.
Yeah.
You can make a really good call for
David
Phil
Duval.
Mickelson.
Yeah.
David
David,
Duval.
yes, David Duval, absolutely. You know, and in the next probably 10, 15 years, look for Tiger's kid.
Yeah, he's pretty
That
good,
young
man.
that young man is really, really good at a really young
Yeah.
age. Okay, so flip y'all up, go a little golf. I know y'all probably thought a little boxing and some basketball and some football. I'm telling you.
Yeah. And then on the women's side, because people say we don't talk enough women's sports on there, Annika Sorenstam, Sayri Pak, one of the best, 2 of the best women's golfers ever. I enjoyed watching them coming up as well.
Absolutely.
So had to throw their name
Absolutely.
out there. All right, fellas, let's get to our parting shots. Whoever wants to go first, let's hit it.
I'll go first. The best thing that happened this past week was Maurice Norris. Did I pronounce his name correct?
Yeah.
Maurice Norris for the Detroit Lions got up and is okay, man. I tell you. You know, preseason, that took me back to, remember when Darryl Stingley got hurt? Remember that? That took me all the way back there, man. So, again, like I say, preseason, I watch out of the corner of my eye except for 2 nights ago to watch Shedeur. You just want everyone to get up and be okay. But I'm so happy that young man got up and is, doing well this morning because that did not look good the other night. That did.
Right.
So thank God that he's upright and is doing okay. So that's the best thing that happened.
Okay.
What do you got,
Well,
Rod?
my parting shot is going to be kudos to Shedeur Sanders. That's that, and Shiloh. Shiloh played last night as well, did very well last night. Shout out to the Sanders boys for going out and performing, and shout out to Shedeur for putting pressure on the Browns organization. So this week they're going to be talking. I can't wait, and I can't wait. So shout out to Shedeur Sanders. Do your thing, young fella. Rumble, young man, rumble, as Muhammad Ali, the great Ali, would say. Rumble, young man, rumble.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
My parting shot goes out to really anybody out there that is a person of color that has the opportunity to be on the platform discussing sports. I don't think we have ever seen as many people of color on major networks having an opportunity to talk about sports. I remember when I was growing up, there just wasn't many. And now we're getting those opportunities. But with those opportunities come great responsibilities. And I'm not going to throw, one certain show under the bus, compared to another show. But I think we got to clean it up. There's a lot of things. And I want to come back and discuss this topic with you guys because I think it's really, really important, some of the stuff that's going on some of these major networks when you're talking about sport analysts, guys. It's just a bad look. It's just a bad look. So you've got, students out there of color that are grinding just to try to get spots. And right now, the habit is to take retired professional athletes and put them in these spots. And they're not being held accountable for a lot of things. So I just think we need to clean that up. I think we need to take a hard look at what we're doing and how we're presenting ourselves on the air. So that's my parting shot. But like I said, I would love to come back and because this is a topic that can go a whole show. And I just think what's being out there, man, is just not a good look. So
that's a good call, and we definitely need to touch on it. But we also need to let folks know we coming, y'all. You ain't got to worry about it. Help is on the way as long as y'all stay 3 the hard way. We coming, y'all. It's coming.
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate 3 the Hard Way Nation. TikTok, 3 the Hard Way Nation out there again. Rodney Young, thanks for putting that together with the simulcast and the 3 the Hard Way people out there. And, of course, fellas, I couldn't do this show without you guys, so I appreciate you guys showing up every Sunday, adding great content to the show. Thank you guys so much.
All right.
Appreciate it. Listen, 3 the Hard Way, man. Y'all got to love it, man. Stay with us. Go ahead, like and subscribe, all right? TT Nation, I'm coming for the after party, all right? I'll be there in a second. Love you guys,
We'll make sure
man.
to see ya when we see you. Love you guys. Later.
All right.
Yes,
Take
sir.
care. All right.